Well, I thought I learned something the first time a sandworm ate me and spat me back out. I thought the lesson was that death is a joke, an inconvenience that I can just walk away from. Naked, sure, but at least upright. And I got arrogant. Made this whole world look uncomfortable, but inconsequential. The houses and their endless war. Lions and hyenas fighting over the same kill. But this place, this sarcophagus, there's another lesson here. Choices we make can have consequences far, far worse than dying. You see what happens when your dedication becomes less valuable than your sacrifice. When your protectors abandon you. When the banner you serve decides you're worth more as a ghost. And it makes you wonder, what's the difference between an enemy who wants you dead and a friend who's willing to let you die? No. 3 flies on the carcass. And one of them's in his big boy gear. Gotta make this quick and quiet. Make sure to keep something between me and Mr. BFG over there. That's one. That's 2. Right, where's that? Oh, there he is. Let's get in quick. Nope. It's much more interesting down there. Like a pro. Yep. Deserters. Uniform the same as the ones that ambushed me when I was meant to meet Anton's informant. But there was no informant. Just a rock covered in blood that didn't belong to the 3 dead bodies I left behind. Of course. No informant. Just the welcoming party. And the guest of honor already left. Blood all over the floor, but left. This blood definitely doesn't belong to these donkeys. So where's the ghost? An informant who doesn't show, and an ambush that does. And a pool of blood that doesn't add up. Well, I guess the simple answer is usually the right one, and right now, the simplest answer is that Anton sent me out here to be a target. Or a cleanup crew. And it's time to go and ask him which it is. I went back to Anton ready for the lie. Ready to hear him deny the whole setup. And he did. Of course he did. I couldn't imagine a scenario where he would admit to setting me up. He needed me too much. But turns out he wasn't a schemer. He was desperate. And then he asked me to do something that didn't fit the picture I had of him. Something a cold-blooded Bastich would never ask. He wanted me to find a ghost and rescue a memory. So, Anton, your informant wasn't there. Well, at least not all of him. Looks like he left some fluids behind before he became a figment of your imagination.
What?
But the reception committee, on the other hand, very, very real. Let's be clear. Was I the contractor on this job, or was I the actual job?
Of course not. Ours is a paranoid field, but I would not do that. If you don't trust my integrity, trust that you are a valuable asset. What happened?
A welcoming party at the meeting point. Deserters wearing your house colors. Funny that.
Disconcerting. Either my informant was intercepted, or I've been fed false information. Whichever the case, we need to investigate further.
So this lead was a bust. Do you have something that actually exists this time, or are we just getting started on my funeral arrangements?
Unfortunately, I do. Something more somber, but it needs doing. I need a body and ID tags located to clear a name.
Clear a name. And what's the tactical advantage of clearing a name of a corpse?
We must defend the honor of our brothers and sisters, living and dead.
Right. Sorry. It's not a tactical issue.
In light of your previous endeavor, I suspect I know whom the tags belong to. At least we can hope to clear his name in death.
I hear you. I'll find him. Well, I sure did put my foot in it. I pushed, expecting a politician, or something false. I didn't expect genuine conviction. The kind of faith that keeps the candle lit for the fallen that most are just too ready to forget. And under that conviction, I saw the cracks. That look in Anton's eyes wasn't just grief for a fallen soldier. It was that quiet terror of a true believer who's starting to suspect that his priest is a friggin' liar. It's all right here. The noble story, the honorable sacrifice, the part of the truth that they let you see in the light of day. But the rest of it, the part that's making Anton lose his faith, that's always hidden down in the dark. And he's too devout to go digging in his own church's graveyard. He needs a sinner for that. And there it is, the lion's share of the carcass. You'd think with the Atreides machine behind him, Anton wouldn't need someone like me to wrestle the location of this Hulk from a Harkonnen nest. You'd think that there'd be a recovery operation, a triage team, a security detail to keep the buzzards at bay. You'd think that there'd be debriefs and resulting spec ops to pin down Skorda. After all, a deserter's one thing, but a renegade that's had the favor of the Duke himself at one point, well, that seems a valuable manhunt. Yeah, you'd think all that, and you'd be wrong. So, find anything in that Harkonnen report to stop the sky from falling, Anton?
We're still sifting through data, but it links the renegade Skorda to someone I know, Flag Officer Katrina Kloros. Katrina was commander of the Kytheria when the ship went down. She survived, but it's now clear that she turned deserter following those events. She's the missing friend I mentioned. At this point, I have more questions than answers. I don't like where any of this is leading.
And you think your missing friend may know something about Skorda?
My superiors have been monitoring Katrina, but she won't talk to any Atreides. They want to know more. I want to know more. I need you to talk to her. As someone less official, you might be able to get her to talk. She has to know something that makes this madness make sense.
Wait, they've been monitoring her, but they haven't extracted her? Well, surely they know where she is. This doesn't bode well.
Based on the previous intel you gathered for me, from those Harkonnen deserters, she's near the wreck of the Kytheria in the Haga Rift. My superiors didn't seem at all surprised by this revelation. They're holding something back. They've known. I want to say words I should not say.
Careful there, Anton. That sounds dangerously close to treason. Or worse, honesty.
Agreed. None of us see the same person in the mirror as when we first landed on Arrakis. Will you go find Katrina Kloros?
I'll find her.
I eagerly await your report. There's just one more thing.
There always is.
Do whatever it takes to convince Katrina to return to the fold. She was a mentor and a hero of mine. She stands for everything I once believed in. Our path has become so twisted. This war of assassins corrodes our honor and identity. It corrodes me. The Atreides are not the Atreides anymore. I'm at the edge. I need a win. Everything seems to turn out wrong. But we can save her. We can make it right. I have to believe that.
I'll talk to her, Anton. I'll hear her side, and I'll help if she'll let me. The rest, though, that's up to her.
Thank you. That means a great deal to me. And more.
Yeah. Find Katrina. It seemed like everyone and their brother already knew where she was, and yet there she remained. Cold and alone. Well, probably not cold, but there's definitely some sense of frigidity about the way she's just been left out there. How deeply must your acolytes of virtue betray you before you're as hollowed out as this wreck? When does hoorah turn into hold on and then break down into hell no?
Take it you're not a heat mirage. Who are you?
The name's Buron. Anton Tolliver sent me. He's worried about you.
A bit late for that. Even if I wasn't dying, there's no going back now. Anton always was sweet. And naive. I envy that. He won't have it much longer. He was practically a kid when I trained him. An orphan turned soldier. Guess I filled in for something he was missing. May as well ask your questions. Only thing I have left is time. And I don't have much of that.
That's fair enough. So, what happened out here?
My family's been with the Atreides since time out of mind. Not nobles. Never far up the chain. But our fates have always been tied with that house. That's all gone now. When we came to Arrakis, we were Atreides. We're not anymore. We lost it somewhere in this war of assassins.
I guess the house left its ideals on Caladan to keep the sand out of the cracks.
You sound like Skorda. We may have lost it, but what the Atreides had, no house has ever touched. At least Way's not the living corpses of House Harkonnen.
Let's talk about Skorda then.
He was my brother in blood. Saved each other's lives more than once. He was always a loose cannon, though. He always had this ability to make you look the other way. Like the time the Duke himself stepped in on his behalf. Or that last favor he asked me.
The cargo.
I was commander of the Kytheria. Skorda asked me to carry some cargo aboard. No records, no questions. Smuggling, sure, but he said it was important. I agreed to all that. That's just how it was with Skorda. We got ambushed over Arrakis. The Kytheria, the Delphus, and the Euphoria. All shot down.
And the wreck?
It'd be a kindness not to answer. But it's not far. Just over yonder. But if you're looking for Skorda's cargo, you're too late. Bandits came in that night. They went straight for it. They knew it was something valuable. The only one who could have known those particular containers were of any significance. Damn you. Damn you, Skorda.
So, he sold you out to recover the cargo? What the hell was it?
Wasn't what it seemed, whatever it was. Every crash survivor who came in contact with it eventually died. And they didn't die well. I held each of them while their bodies liquefied. while they screamed for loved ones not there. Think my body held out so they wouldn't have to die alone. But I'm fading fast. Skorda betrayed me. My house abandoned us. Secrets and secrets.
They didn't send a rescue team.
I called and called. When I finally contacted my superiors, they were worried about diseases or contamination, but agreed to send help. No help came. Time passed. A lot of it. I marked it in the deaths of my crew. Finally, call came in. Some woman asked lots of questions about the symptoms. She told me to leave the sick behind. They couldn't risk taking them back. I couldn't do that. When the last of them died, I abandoned the wreck. I don't think there was ever a plan to help us. I think we were just a petri dish to be studied. Poor Anton. He's getting the hint. I could tell. He's just slower to let the ideals go. You tell him I did my duty, as I saw it. You tell him that.
So... that's the difference. Your enemy will kill you, but your ally will just watch you go.
Andrea Gannon. That's who I talked to. She spoke of my crew the way scientists talk about lab rats. I wouldn't go back. Even if I wasn't dying.
So, you die out here. Alone. And your house buries you as a deserter. Anton's starting to carry more memories than soldiers. But I'll make sure he gets yours. I'll make sure he gets yours. A contract with Anton is one thing, but a promise to a dying soldier, that's a different kind of debt. I better get to work. Strange. Where is everybody? I would have thought this place would be just littered with scavengers or deserters or something. Nothing. There's no bloodstains, there's no bodies, just dust. And traps. Well, that trap didn't lay itself. But I can't seem to find anyone to ask pointy questions of. Maybe the sugar wire reel's got a clue.
Ship's log. Atreides vessel Kytheria. Captain Katrina Kloros reporting. We've been wrecked planetside for 8 days now. I know our emergency transponder is functioning. Where is our relief? We are desperately short of water, and we are continuously attacked by parties of deserters out to steal what little we have left. And now, an unknown illness is downing my crew. They're dropping like flies, on the verge of death. We've scoured the cargo for everything we can use. That includes Captain Skorda's personal hush-hush edition. It makes no sense. Why smuggle this onto Arrakis? What is Skorda playing at? My people are dying. Why has our house forsaken us? Where is our relief?
8 days. That's the sound of hope starting to rust. She was asking where the relief was when her own house was just listening for the sound of the flatline. I gotta go find whatever it is that they paid for with all these lives. But this place is so empty. I guess no better place to look than behind a locked door. All right, let's see here.
There's someone here.
There is somebody here. It's me. I get the feeling I didn't really care what you had to say. But this sugar wire reel, yeah, you can color me curious.
God, how many days now? I lost track. Chloros brought us to some stashed cargo, told us to help ourselves. Why someone needed to bring this to Arrakis is beyond me. I'm thanking my lucky stars for it now. Why were we sent to this horrible planet? I mean, there's something down here poisoning us. Why is no one coming? I mean, has our Duke betrayed us?
The Duke? Nah. The Duke gets to believe in honor. He's the noble face on the coin. It's the advisors who get their hands bloody making sure that coin's still worth something. Don't ever mistake the king for the men who keep him king. Well, if everything else is empty, and there's nowhere left to go but down, then down we go. Maybe there's something left in the hold. Damn. Well, I hate to say it, but not much is left by the look of it. She said the body's liquefied, but I realized that I didn't take her seriously, not literally liquefied. Is this what she was holding on to? Well, she was sick, and her house didn't come.
I think this is it. My legs feel like jelly. My face too. The others that stayed are gone. God, if that's what awaits me, I should have been braver. Gone out with my guns blazing against those deserters instead of this. Let it be known that I'll blast it all. Whoever finds this, just get out.
Got him, Kush. But you can't argue with a man's final words. Anton wanted the truth, and he's about to get a lot more than he bargained for. If he even bothers to listen all the way to the end, I hope he can take it. Time to honor a dead man's last piece of good advice. How am I even gonna tell him that his hero was left abandoned by the very people who were supposed to protect her? That she had to watch as her crew melted into nothing, knowing that she was next. That she was last. To die alone with nothing and no one. And her only reward is the disgrace that her house will put to her memory. What if this breaks it? What if it doesn't? I think I'm about to see the real measure of Anton Tolliver. I suppose I have to deliver a report that I don't want to deliver to a man I really don't want to deliver it to. Anton, I found Katrina Chloros. I'm sorry.
Katrina Kloros is dead.
It was a betrayal. They used her and her crew as an experiment. Nothing more.
Puddle of gore. That's all that's left of her. Word just came in from above. She succumbed to the mysterious malady that's going around. And they knew. My superiors chose to let her rot, to observe her like a specimen, just to collect the data.
Look, she was a soldier to the last. She never left her crew, and she was carrying them with her, even when they were gone, and she was alone. She was strong, Anton, even at her weakest.
She was. More than you know. She taught me. She's the reason I am the person I am today. We could have saved her. Soldier, hero, mentor, she was one of us. She wasn't a lab rat to study. This was not right. This was not honorable.
No, it wasn't. The report has everything in it that she had left to give.
I don't want your damn report. I don't want this twisted spycraft trade. I don't want this damn war of assassins.
Well, then stop playing.
Listen, we left Caladan as Atreides. I don't know what we are anymore. All I know is that I am done participating in this twisted game. You want to deliver your report? Take it to my direct superior, Andrea Gannon. Tell her I'm done. Congratulations. Your star is rising.
So the report I'm delivering, it's a eulogy for the man they were trying to make you. Consider it done. So, that's the answer. The difference between the enemy's knife and the Allies' ambivalence. One is a war of casualty, and the other is a war of attrition. Not about what's right, it's about what's left. And there was nothing left of Katrina Kloros or her crew. But what about Anton? Does he have enough left to salvage after such erosion? Or is there just too much of it lost in the sand of this place? And now this bastion of Atreides power. The foothold of the heel that grinds as mercilessly as any slavers. For something built so high, it's astonishing how far it's fallen. Anton sent me to deliver his final words. But finality is for the dead. And this isn't over yet.